Alright guys, it's my Gliscors here, bringing you the first round of the playoffs. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do all that. My dimensions are all wrong. Right, okay. Dimensions are correct. You just, yeah, just doing pre-game analysis for my team. Send invite in draft league. Okay, so we're playing my boy Clark again. If you do remember, all the way back in the first week of this league, we did play him in the first match of the league, which we did win, I believe, 3-0. And his team consists of a Trick Room team based around Tababulu, Stakataka, Serena, Espeon, Pythagoras, Lantern, Mega Camera, Latias, Raptor, Savali, and Beware. All mons that can function really well under Trick Room, Stakataka being the biggest one. The reason he lost last time is he got his mons were really slow, so a Venusaur was able to just knock off everything on his team and ended up taking a lot of lives while doing that. I actually I'm second guessing this Sludge Bomb, really, because I don't feel like he'd ever stay in with Bulu on, and I kind of want to run the Seed Bomb now and then run enough speed to outspeed Lantern. There we go. Now we have enough speed to outspeed Lantern. Sorry, I had to do that real quick. So, pretty much what I'm scared of on his team is Mega Camerupt, Latias, Stakataka, Bulu, and like I don't see Bulu doing anything to Venusaur, so we can always switch in on that thing. No matter what we go for, we can click at any move, and we can just set up a Swords Dance really in front of that thing and just knock off throughout his team, as well as Seed Bomb that doesn't make contact for Beware. Knock off and stuff like that would be really annoying on his team as well. And I feel like this Mon will just be able to break through a lot of the Mons that are on his team. Serena's not going to switch in well. Pythagoras has already been beaten before by this thing, so very solid there. We just have to make sure to remember that if we do get Mummy, we are not resistant to fire or ice, and that's something we have to be really careful of. Lumberry Muck here, just in case we get burnt. We're running the Lumberry. Running enough HP to believe to take enough attacks from Bulu, as well as a Scald. And a couple hits from Mega Camera up. So we're running Curse Muck because after 3 curses, excuse me, we are slower than min speed Stakataka, but after 2 curses we outspeed Lonely Stakataka, which is the attack boosting Stakataka. And Brick Break, Poison Jab, Knockoff just Okos everything on his team. There's not a single switch in he has to it outside of Savali. Dragon? I don't know a Savali that can take all this kind of coverage. Poison Dark kind of hits a lot of things in the tier, and then Brick Break finishes off the steel types that we can't hit with those 2 moves. So if he brings a certain type, because last time he brought Dark, which we can Brick Break on, as well as Poison Jab. So that's not really too much of a threat. On to the next one, Blacephalon. This set here is just going to win us the game, to be honest. Without Trick Room up, this thing's going to completely sweep HP ground for both Stakataka, Mega Camera up, and Lantern, like we did before. Flame Charge for speed boost, as well as he doesn't really have a Shadow Resist on his team at all outside of Savali Dark. So we can just Shadow Ball through his team, as well as Flamethrower there to deal with the Serena. And just in case he wants to bring Beware in to take hits, we have Flamethrower to be able to knock that boy out. And the Flame Charge will give us a speed boost in front of like a Staraptor or Savali, so we can make sure that we outspeed things like that. Other than that, I don't really see this Mon doing too much, and I don't plan on keeping this thing around that often, just because it just needs to come in, claim a couple kills, and get out of there. Next up, we have Rocky Helmet Xatsu with Trick Room of our own. to cancel out his Trick Room. Maybe we go for Trick Room on the last turn, get knocked out by a Mon like Stack Attacka, and then Trick Room's not up anymore. We can go Venusaur, fire off an Earthquake, go Blacephalon, fire off an HP Ground, whatever we want to do from there. As long as Trick Room is not up, we are okay. We can also Wish Protect, pass around to Venusaur, Bronzong, and Alola Muck, who all need health to be sure that this match is completely secure. Blacephalon's not really going to be able to come in on too many wishes, but if it is possible, we'd like to, as well as U-turn for momentum on things like Serena, as well as Wish Protect is just nice for stalling out some certain Trick Room turns in general. I wanted to bring Toxic for Cofagrigus, but I don't really have a spot on it. Maybe I don't need Wish. I don't really see what I'm gonna wish into, but maybe a Wish could help me late game against certain Mons, but I just don't want Cofagrigus setting up in front of me too hard. Next up is Akaberry Bronzong with Levitate. This will completely counter Mega Camerock at all costs, so we are slower than it no matter what. So we will be able to fire off 2 Earthquakes under Trick Room before he is able to fire off 2 Fire Blasts. He could also miss them. Garbo will also be able to knock out things like Tababulu, as well as do a heavy chunk to Latias the Raptor, and just kind of break through his team when he sets up the Trick Room, as well as Toxic and Stealth Rocks to whittle away at his team. Toxic will annoy everything outside of a Stack Attacka or a Poison or Steel Savali, and the rest we can just Toxic up. And then finally we have Belly Drum Noon with Extreme Speed for his entire team. Play Rough for the Beware, because that is the only move it cannot take, and Stomping Tantrum for Stack Attacka. Pretty much, if I get a Belly Drum up in front of anything, gotta make sure it's Gluttony. That would have been a big L. Now thinking of it, I kind of want to run Shadow Claw, as Extreme Speed can knock out Beware. And also, I'm not too worried about Beware with a lot of my Mons, and I don't want Cofag to come in and completely wall us. At +6 with Extreme Speed, we can beat a lot of his Trick Room threats. And he's going to have to waste that turn to go for Extreme Speed and all that. Oh, he's going to have to waste that turn to go for Trick Room. And with Trick Room up, we should be able to just ignore Trick Room by clicking Extreme Speed, because Extreme Speed gets first no matter what, outside of a Fake Out. So, without further ado, let's get into this, as he does bring... Oh, we have the gifts off for the Chrome 64 bug. Can we refresh? Reload thing. Let's drop the link. And let's get into this. We are here. We are now. He does bring about everything we were expecting. Doesn't even bring Lottie. That's crazy. Brings the Beware as like we expected. We did bring Seed Bomb for Lantern. Doesn't bring Tababulu, kind of like what we expected. We said. Oh, he doesn't even bring Espeon. So we don't have to worry about this thing being calm. Doesn't bring Zavali either. So lead options for him is either the Raptor to U-turn out, make a camera up to Stack Attacka, have fun. Reeve is going to gas it out. We're going to ignore spectators because this is a playoffs match, and I am just stressed out my everything. I'm super stressed for this match, and I'm also kind of glad we changed it to Shadow Claw, because we do see this thing here. Without grassy terrain, Earthquake is going to run through his entire team on everything, like Earthquake, Venusaur, HP Ground on Blacephalon, which never really mattered. I don't know if Earthquake mattered too much on my Bronzong, because it's not actually touching the ground, but my opponent's touching the ground. I don't really know how grassy terrain works on that kind of thing. But we're going to lead Bronzong. Like, there's no problem with leading Bronzong, because if he gets Trick Room up for me, I'm in the driver's seat. This time we are not running the Heat Proof set, because there's no reason to run Heat Proof. There's really just no reason to run Heat Proof. And he leads the Raptor, which by no means can hit me at all. Outside of U-turn, that boy looks banded. By the looks of it, we are max Spadef though, I believe. I refreshed the page too. Clear custom sets. Ghost Cofagrigus, which we can fire off a juicy Toxic on. Oh shoot. Where's my power button? There we go. Didn't want that. Does set up a Calm Mind. We land the Toxic on this boy. Now Muck is gonna be able to take every hit and be able to knock this boy out with knockoff any day of the week, as We're just gonna fire off some earthquakes. Ooh, that crit kind of sucks. Sorry about the crit. Because that does really suck damage wise. There's no problem, but that does kind of hurt. Shoot, what was I gonna do? I needed to copy my team into here. Import sets Bronzong to a Staraptor. Choice Scarf. U-turn is doing 19 to 23. That boy did 25. He's either are you adamant? He could be adamant or banded. Or no, banded does too much. I think he might be scarfed. We all know what that means. We don't know what that means yet. Hold up. Bronzong against Kofag. UU Trick Room. At +2. Shadow Ball can knock me out if he's max. So we'll just... That boy's fast. Well, we are like slow as ever. What speed were we? We were 63 and he outsped us. That's 63 and he outsped us. +2 Spadef. Cephalon Shadow Ball. Will always knock out here. And if he does go Staraptor. Also, does Flamethrower knock out? Flamethrower has a chance to knock out here. Flame Charge will not knock out. He definitely has HP fighting. He's gotta have HP fighting for Linoon. We'll go Blacephalon. Click the Shadow Ball. If he goes and switches out into Staraptor, that thing takes chip damage plus chip damage from Exatu's Rocky Helmet when it comes back in. As well as if he goes Beware. I don't think Beware takes a Beware does not take a Flamethrower by any means. Stack Attacker does not take a +1. And I think he might just stay in because he can't risk the sub. He really cannot risk the sub. If we Flame Charge up on his Staraptor, we could just win here. So I feel like he could go AV Lantern or... I apologize for that, guys. My mic is all staticky, like when it just sits there for a while. I don't get why it does that sometimes. But his play here is to not let me sub. Like, he has to go for the chance that it could eat this modest Shadow Ball. And maybe that'll give him the idea that we're Specs or Scarfed. Because we can... I mean, if he goes Staraptor, we go hard back into the Exatu. If he goes Lantern... bulky pivot. This into Ghost DMZ will knock out. And that'd be great to get rid of Lantern. Although Lantern never will hurt to go Venusaur. I just don't want to risk getting burnt. So this is a big turn here, depending on what he goes for. I'm clicking Shadow Ball no matter what. Like, there is no harm here for clicking it. No matter what he goes into, we counter. Like, Beware, he's scared of fire. A fire attack. If he goes Staraptor, we always go Exatu, like we've said. If he goes Attack, that thing goes down to an HP ground, I do believe. Attack. Yes, it does. Or it might even go down to 2 Shadow Balls, depending on its spread. We just really have to see what he goes for. Test. Okay, so we're not lagging. And I don't mean to. No rush. Just test it. Just making sure my internet's still working. I think we've looked at every single possible thing you can do here. I mean, this is a big turn for him. He's already set up +2. That's why I think he would just want to stay in with it. And he can't. I mean, I've always bring sub Blacephalon. I always bring sub Blacephalon. Like, there's no reason why you would switch out for it. Because if I'm Specs here, I knock out. If I'm Scarf here, I knock out. You pretty much just don't know my set yet. And this Blacephalon, any Blacephalon set can kind of rip through what he's brought. So he does go Lantern. The Shadow Ball does drop here. That boy did 29. Lantern is the AV set, I'm believing. I'm leading to believe that it is the AV set. That boy did 29. So we just show a lot of SPDF. I think this can knock out here. Let's go! Let's go! Okay. If Staraptor comes out, assume he's okay. So we are at +1. We gotta note that. Glad the Never-Ending Nightmare knocked out Lantern. That was a roll. Just putting that out there. His only Trick Room setters are these two Mons. I don't know if Lantern got Trick Room. We can check right now. Learn Lantern Trick Room. Cannot learn Trick Room. Learn Beware Trick Room. Not learn Trick Room. It goes to Raptor. Leading to believe this thing is scarfed. So we shall go hard Zatsu here. As does not eat that well at all. But the next one will knock us out. So I'm gonna go for a Wish, assuming that if he does switch up moves, we know he's not locked in. And all that chip damage is super nice because if he goes for U-turn here, he will go down to rocks, and he doesn't have any sort of hazard removal outside of defog on this Mon. Losing Zatsu means we don't have a prominent answer to fighting attacks, which is kind of fine because I think Beware's only move to hit us is Shadow Claw, and also Beware will go down to a Flamethrower and can never outspeed my Blacephalon unless he does get into the range of, if he does get under a Trick Room. Does go hard stack Attacker. And I kind of want to play a mind game with him here. I'm going to click the Trick Room. Ah! Gotcha. Alright, so what we can do is Wish again. We just set up the Trick Room. I'm going to Protect because I'm trying to waste all the Trick Room turns I can. Gyro Ball. Now that's going to be a fun move to try to dip and dodge. That's why I made all my Mons min speed. So this Gyro Ball is not doing too much damage. Stack Attacker is in. Stack Attacker is now. Stack Attacker to a Muckalolin is doing absolutely nothing. It's not really called switching though. Zatsu is dying to a max attack. I mean, I can go for another Wish here. Dang, that thing just goes down. Okay, the Rocky Helmet chip is nice. It does get a defense boost, which is interesting considering the fact that Linoon. Okay, so we go Venusaur. He's getting defense boosts, so we know that he's not this lonely set. This Earthquake is still going to do a ton of damage, and he doesn't really have a move to hurt us too bad with. So we can Earthquake here and do a sizable chunk. Staraptor can still go down to extreme speed sweeping. I definitely see that happening unless we can get the flame charge up on something. +1 defense. We'll gauge how much this does. 2 Gyro Balls will be able to knock us out, but into the knockoff, or I guess Brick Break from Muck, we should be able to knock him out. If not, HP Ground will always knock him out after, as he doesn't really have much special defense. He might even be, no, because he showed Trick Room, so he can't be AV Stack Attacker. He's shown Leftovers, which is maybe more of a max defense kind of set. Maybe he doesn't need all this attack, but if he doesn't show a lot of attack, this Gyro Ball is only going to do a minor amount of damage, and he could go maybe into Staraptor, but it is Trick Room, so we are going to outspeed this. It goes for Gyro Ball, and that thing does 65. That shows a lot. Why does that do 65? Huh? Is he? Huh? Am I missing something here? I'm at 154 speed. 56. Okay, well, that did 40, right? So it does show that he's not lonely. That he's more... Okay, you know what? We just sack this thing here and go... Blacephalon. Because Blacephalon will... Oh! He clicks... Oh! I see why. I definitely see why. Because he wants to get another trick room up. Or is that why? Is it because he wants to get another trick room up? Venusaur Mega. Do a stack attack with +1 defense. Seed Bomb's not knocking out. We just click another Earthquake here. I wonder if he clicked Earthquake because he wanted to set up Trick Room again, or keep Stack Attack alive. That's my only two ideas. Once the Raptor's down, Blacephalon can win, as Blacephalon does outspeed his entire team. So once the Raptor goes down, we don't have anything to worry about. We can set up the +6 with Linoon in front of the heavily weakened Cofagrigus. I don't know if... What was his play there to click Earthquake? I guess to knock out and not let Blacephalon come in. Blacephalon took like 60% from... And I'm completely okay with sacking Venusaur, as Venusaur doesn't beat anything on this team except this Mon. It does go Cofagrigus and sacks it to this Earthquake. Or he doesn't actually sack it to this Earthquake, as he is able to take the hit. We'll go for the knockoff here, as it is going to get rid of our Thick Fat. He's already been knocked off, and Toxic does knock him out, so there is still so many Trick Room turns left. He can Ghost a Raptor here, I guess click U-turn. Goes Mega Camerupt, as we do not underspeed that Mon at all. Earth Power comes out. And Earth Power just sweeps us here, right? We just lose. I think we just lose. Linoon, do a Camerupt, Mega, OU Wall Breaker, Extreme Speed. Yeah, it doesn't do enough. I think we just lose. Depending on how much Muck takes from Earth Power, Muck just goes down. Yeah, we just lose. That's unfortunate. I don't know what I could have done to play around this thing differently. He just clicks Earth Power so many times. So yeah, GG. I don't know what I could have done to prevent this. I don't even think any of Muck's attacks can knock him out. He just clicks Earth Power one more time. Maybe not knocking out Cofagrigus would have been the play. Because he just Earth Powers, we don't live that at all. And click HP Ground as we get knocked out. Do that. So I don't think there was any way I could have played around that. I definitely think my only play was not to what's it called? Like, my only thing to do was not knock out Cofagrigus there, and then he didn't have enough turns to set up Trick Room. So yeah, I think that's really the only thing that I could have done, is not knock out Cofagrigus. Maybe bringing Suicune or something else that could have stopped Mega Camera from getting out of hand. My team just is pretty... It's not as slow as it could have been. Like, the last Trick Room battle was me against... the last Trick Room battle, I didn't have Trick Room up most of the time. I did bring a lot of mons that were slower, too, like with min speed on like everything, so I didn't get Gyroballed as often. So Gyroball didn't do enough damage, and I wanted to make sure I outsped the Lantern. I'm assuming that was Scarf Staraptor still. Beware had a chance. If all I had to do was maybe bring AV Muck. If Muck was AV, I would have taken 2 hits, and then Blacephalon would have came out. But I think Staraptor was still in range. Staraptor was still able to take the hit. And after knockoff and all that other damage, or even Poison Jab, I would have to get Poison Jab, No, because Poison Jab did nothing. I'd have to knock off, do 32 to 38, get the burn, or get the poison. That would bring him down to a solid 11% if I get a high roll. And the only way this would have mattered is if Blacephalon did 11% with Flame Charge, and then I would have been faster than this entire team. But if Staraptor was scarfed, that didn't matter anyway. So definitely a good game to him. I don't see a way I could have played around that outside of like what I've said is not knock out Cofagrigus. And I think that's just it. I mean, and this league here is just kind of showcased more of what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that like this league has shown that my draft is not the best. This draft is far from good. Like it's just kind of all over the place. Two poison types that don't even gel well together. Heavy Earthquake week with Xatu as my Z user. I had Zygarde, didn't even use that well. I never brought Mega Venusaur, did like any matches. I had Suicune and Raikou, and like only used Raikou as sub. I brought Blacephalon like the same set every week. So this has definitely shown what I'm able to do with a crappy team. And I definitely plan on in future YouTube leagues building a better team. I already have one drafted. If you did come out to the Fortnite stream yesterday, you have heard some of it. Excuse me. Draft analysis will be going up Monday. As that is going to be going up Monday. What am I trying to say here? Let me get the replay. Clark. And pretty much with that, we'll be doing another YouTube league soon. It's an 8-man league, but it's not anything like too serious. It's just a whole bunch of people that we're messing around with. Just trying to have a well put together YouTube league. As this league here, you haven't seen any matches from anybody else. You've only really seen my matches and Ted when he did upload his. So there wasn't really much like involvement like with league and analysts and all this other stuff. Was the Raptor scarf? That's the big question. Because I actually just want to know if Staraptor was scarfed. Because if that's really my only play was to click Seed Bomb, not knock out the Cofagrigus, and then when Cofagrigus is in, go Muck, Curse Up, and probably Sweep with Muck, to be honest. I think that was like my biggest play. Or if he went for Calm Mind, we knocked him off. He had 3 turns of Trick Room left. 3 turns of Trick Room left means he knocked everything out. We got extreme speed damage off. We actually didn't get because we wouldn't get the poison. We wouldn't get the knockoff. Oh, I'm assuming if Muck was AV. So yeah, I needed AV Muck, and I didn't have that at the time. I was thinking he was gonna get burnt by something. Mega Camera is just such a scary mon, and it's sheer force ability with 40 speed. Like nothing really underspeeds it. Outside of Stack Attacker, which he had, and other mons that are base. What is Camera's base speed? It's 20. Yeah, that's really low. So like, if you guys did enjoy this league, I know it was exciting seeing me go 6-0 in the beginning of the season. That kind of all fizzled away. Kind of shows you how it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. I feel like I could have done better if I based more of my draft around Blacephalon and not just throwing a whole bunch of mons that, you know, I like this mon, let me draft it. And kind of worked on cores more than anything. I mean, what kind of core? I don't even know what kind of core is Bronzong, Rabombi, and Zygarde 10%. Like, that's kind of bad. As well as Blacephalon, Venusaur, Suicune, excuse me, which isn't too bad. 2 bulky grasses, 2 bulky water, or a bulky grass, bulky water, and then offensive fire type, which isn't too bad. But definitely not one of my best drafts. If you guys remember UAPB season 1, that was a horrible draft that we ended up getting 5 wins at the end of the season. So I'm kind of happy with how this league ended. I'm also kind of glad that it didn't drag on and then just to lose in the finals. So it's nice to know that I'll never know how Rye or Ryan my rematches are. That's just going to be it for me. I am the Mighty Gliscor, the coach of your York Gliscors, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.